Hello and welcome to Odds Checkers coverage of Thursday Night Football. What's going on? I am Matt O'Leary with Alicia Tversky. Alicia, what's going on?
Well, as a Packer fan, not going so well. The week's been just one piece of bad news after another. First was Devontae Adams, then the defensive coordinator, then Alan Lazard, and that's on top of Jair Alexander, David Bakhtiari, and everyone else. So it's just a mess right now. And I guess we'll probably get into that more in the video. But, I'm not really too excited about the game.
Absolutely. So let's hop right into it. It's the Packers going against the Arizona Cardinals. We're going to hop into the spread first. Cardinals are favored by 6.5. Anything jumping out here?
The only thing jumping out is that I'm not touching either of these.
Okay.
I'm not betting against Green Bay against the spread just because in the LaFleur era they've been the best team in the league against the spread, and I can't bet on the Packers because they're just so banged up. They could easily lose this game by 30, but in my head the most likely scenario is like a 3 to 6 point loss. So I'm not touching it. How about you?
I'm going to touch it. I'm going to take the bait. Give me the Cardinals minus 6.5. Green Bay's without their top 3 receivers this week. Arizona has the number 3 defense overall in the league. They've allowed the fewest points in the NFL. So it seems like it's going to be a matchup nightmare for the Packers. The number's a little high for me at 6.5. Normally, under regular circumstances, if Aaron Rodgers is getting 6.5 points, I'm jumping all over that. But this is a unique situation, and I think I'm going to take the Cardinals here at that number.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, if I were to pick either of these, it would be the Cardinals.
Can I interest you in a money line play?
So it's not something I'm going out of my way to bet. It's probably something I'd be more inclined to include in a parlay or something, but the Packers have lost 10 straight games when they've been underdogs by 6 points or more. And I think that's a streak that's going to continue. I just don't see how they pull this out. Like you said, Arizona's got that really good defense. And the Packers just don't have the weapons. So that's the play I would go with.
All right, there we go. So let's move to the point total. It's set at 50.5 for this one. Is there anything jumping out here?
Yeah, very much so, and I have a feeling we're going to be on the same play on this one. I'm very much a fan of the under. The Packers have gone under this number in 5 of their 7 games. They're the slowest paced team in the league, just like they were last year. Arizona, as favorites in the Cliff Kingsbury era, has gone over in just 5 of 15 games. And given the weapons Green Bay has against this defense, I just don't see how these teams go over this number. And Green Bay's defense has actually been respectable lately. So I'm easily going with the under.
Yeah, me too. And, Arizona, they have a good offense here, but just historically, combine these two teams this year, 5-9 to the over. The under has hit 5 times in a row on a Thursday Night Football. This just feels like one of these weird games that we're going to get on a Thursday night here. And 50.5, or even if it wasn't just at 50, it just sounds way too high. I don't think these teams come anywhere close to that number.
Yep. And I'd even look at, I think there was under 49.5, you could get a plus money. So I'd look at that number, maybe even go a little bit lower. I think we could have like a 23-20 result in this one. 26-20, something like that. 26-20 was actually the score in that playoff game where Rodgers was throwing to Jeff Janis and Jared Abbrederis or whoever that was. And it took overtime to even get to that. And we could see a similar result in this one.
Is there any prop that's going to jump out to you this week?
Yeah, if you go to the rush yards, and this is one I am hammering, if you can find any Kyler Murray over any number, essentially, I'm going with the over. And I'm not kidding. Like, I think he could approach 100 yards in this game. I get he hasn't been running as much this year as he did last year, but this is a Green Bay defense that's allowed the second most rush yards to quarterbacks. They allow 37 to Jameis Winston, 46 to Jared Goff, 43 to Justin Fields, 95 to Taylor Heineke. The ones to Goff, Fields, and Heineke were season highs. Winston was 3 off a season high. Green Bay's historically had issues with rushing quarterbacks. I think this is one. I don't know how much I can say that I want to hammer this. I just want to hammer it home. I think it's going to be an easy play.
Okay, you sold me on that one. I'm going to head on over and take a look at passing yards here. And I'm going to take the under on Aaron Rodgers at 255.5 at -115. Just without a ton of weapons. You said it yourself. It's just it doesn't look like the Packers that we're used to that we're going to see here on Thursday Night Football. And I mean, let's be honest here. They're not throwing the ball as much as Packers teams in years gone by. And against one of the better defenses, I don't think he really touches this number.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, they're not throwing the ball as much as they used to. And this is a number I probably would have taken the under with all the weapons, with Adams, with Lazard, with Bakhtiari, with all of these guys in there. I'd probably still take the under on 255. And right now he's throwing to a weapons room that looks like the Jets. So,
there it is.
Yeah, of course. I had to throw it in there, but just right at the end. But that's a play I'll definitely, I'm on board with that.
All right, absolutely. That's going to do it here for our coverage of Thursday Night Football. Make sure to check out Odds Checker before placing any of your bets. That's going to do it for Alicia Tversky. I'm Matt O'Leary. We'll talk to you next time.